Before I do, I think it's just important to say that Florida is only one of a handful of states in the country where 100% of the parents have the ability to send their child for in-person instruction. Obviously, there's a lot of attention, and I think rightfully so, on places where there's no access. And we have major parts of our country, major areas, where parents don't have any meaningful access for in-person instruction, even over a year after the pandemic was declared. And I think that's going to have disastrous consequences. But even in the places where they claim, you have in-person school, and Richard can tell you, I mean, some of these places, you got a third or 25% of the parents that don't have meaningful access. So Florida is one of only a handful of states where we have the ability to do it. And when we were working this summer with Richard, we knew it was important. We obviously believed the data was very convincing that the schools needed to be in person, and you needed to have that option for parents. And we knew the vast majority of parents would want that. But we also had folks up and down the state, including Superintendent Mike Grego here. Almost every superintendent wanted to get back. We had most of the teachers really wanted to get back. I mean, we're joined by a couple, but I have Joyce Vertelli. She was one of our events last summer, talking about how the virtual doesn't work when you have some of the special education and some of the students with unique abilities. They needed to get her kids back, and she was very passionate, and a lot of teachers were passionate about that. And I just think it's important to point that out, because in some of these other parts of the country, you have these people involved with the schools. They don't want to be in. They're taking vacations. They're doing all that. They don't want to do it. And I think that there's been a lot of folks throughout the American public that's looked at that, and I think they've been very frustrated and disappointed. But I don't think that's fair to apply that to Florida, because from the very beginning last summer, we had so many people who work in our school districts and our charter and private and the whole education. They wanted to get back. And I know that at the time, there was just a lot of stuff going on. It wasn't necessarily the easiest thing because of, some people were fearful. You had this, you had that. But we had people every step of the way that wanted to put the kids first. Mike Grego is certainly one of those, and we have really not looked back.